أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وعلى أصحابه الغر الميامين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين اللهم اجعلنا منهم اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا متقبلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank Him. We acknowledge that He is the only one worthy and deserving of all praise and thanks. And we ask Him to shower His most complete and abundant blessings and protection upon His noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, upon His noble family, upon His shining companions, and upon all of those that follow them until the end of time. And we ask Allah to include us from among them. We ask Allah to teach us what will benefit us, to benefit us through what He has taught us, and to increase us in knowledge and accepted actions. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. I hope you are all doing well as this beautiful and amazing month comes to a close. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us to live through another Ramadan, and we ask Him to accept from each and every single one of us, to overlook our shortcomings, to give us the life and the ability and the faith to live to another Ramadan and reap the benefits therein. And I wish all of you an early Eid Mubarak. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it a day that is full of joy for the entire ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen. In our last installment of this series, we will be exploring a short snippet from the 30th juz of the Qur'an, the last juz of the Qur'an. And that snippet can be found in Surah Ash-Shams. But before we jump into that passage itself, one thing that we notice in the Qur'an as a recurring theme is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in multiple different places takes oaths in the Qur'an. And there are multiple purposes of these oaths, swearing by something, taking a vow by something. And one of the purposes of these oaths is to call attention and highlight the importance of the thing that is being sworn by, and also to highlight and bring attention to the thing that is being sworn over. So the maqsoom bihi, I swear by this, and the maqsoom alay, I swear by this, that, XYZ. Right? So in Surah Ash-Shams, we see something very unique, very special, that we don't see in any other place in the Qur'an. In Surah Ash-Shams, we have the longest list of oath after oath after oath that is found in the Qur'an. We have 11 oaths that take place in a row. And this is very important. It's very special because what comes as the maqsoom alay after all of these oaths, I swear that, it arguably is one of the most important injunctions in the Qur'an because of how heavy the oaths that precede it come. And again, it's a unique feature of Surah Ash-Shams. It's a unique aspect of the Qur'an. It's the only place where we have oath after oath after oath after oath 11 times in a row. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا جَلَّاهَا وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَاهَا وَالسَّمَاءِ وَمَا بَنَاهَا وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا طَحَاهَا ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها. Okay, so after taking 11 oaths in a row, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قد أفلح من زكاها. So starting at the top, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by the sun and its daytime, by the moon that follows it, by the daytime that allows the sun to be bright, and by the nighttime that covers up that same sun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by the sky and the one who built up that sky, meaning Himself. He swears by the earth and the one who spread out that earth, again, meaning Himself. He swears by the soul and by the one who proportioned and fashioned and designed that soul, again, meaning Himself, and then inspired that soul with the ability to do evil and the ability to do good. After all of these swears, what is Allah swearing over? قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. The one who has purified their soul will be successful. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes 11 oaths in a row, giving this surah the unique feature of having the most weightiest oath in the entire Qur'an, arguably because of how many oaths, just quantity wise, are being sworn over. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears that the one who purifies their soul will be successful. They've already been successful. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is highlighting and bringing our attention to the crucial importance of purifying the soul. Tazkiyatun nafs. How important it is to refine our inner selves, to take the soul and take all of the dirt and all of the rubbish that it might be covered with because it's been infatuated with this dunya, because it's listened to the shaitan so many times, because it's been distracted by its desires, to take that soul and refine it, purify it, cleanse it, make it a proper receptacle for the Qur'an, for the Sunnah, for Wahi, for everything that is beautiful in our faith. Tazkiyatun nafs. There is so much importance that is brought to purification of the soul, purification of the heart, purifying our inner selves so that we can be agents of being most receptive to Wahi. Wahi from the Qur'an, Wahi from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that if you put in the hard work, if you put in the effort to purify your soul, that is your key to success. I swear 11 times by it. I swear 11 times by the most grand creations that you can think of. By him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swearing by himself and some of his most amazing creations. I swear 11 times in a row that you will be successful if you purify your soul, if you dedicate yourself to purification of the soul. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is highlighting for us that this is something that is worth our effort. It's worth our time. Yes, it's incredibly hard work. Yes, it requires a lot of effort. Yes, it can be uncomfortable and it can be inconvenient and it will require us to put our soul through boot camp-like experiences to really force it to do what it doesn't want to do in order to purify it, right? Purification intrinsically carries a notion of removing what's already there, right? You have something that exists, and to purify it, you have to dig deep, you have to remove, you have to scrub, you have to rub hard, right? Which can be uncomfortable. It can be something that people don't like to experience, right? We're all in Ramadan right now. Fasting is one means to purify the soul by restraining your desires. Stay away from food even though you really want it. Stay away from drink even though you really want it. Put your soul under really uncomfortable circumstances because that is what will make you restrain it and put you in control over your soul instead of the soul being in control over you. Where you can dictate, this is what we're going to do today. This is what we're going to stay away from today. It doesn't matter how much I want to engage in haram. It doesn't matter how much I don't feel like praying, how much I don't feel like fasting, how much I don't feel like reading the Qur'an. When we are in control over our soul because we purified it, that is what will lead to the ultimate success. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears 11 times by it. So purification of the soul is a worthwhile endeavor. It is something that's hard work and it doesn't feel good in the moment. Oftentimes it's very uncomfortable. It's very rough. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, stick through it. Stick to it. Dedicate yourself to it. Even when it's really hard, even when it's really tough, push through. Keep going. Keep pushing through the really difficult aspects because it will lead to success in the hereafter, right? That uncomfortable feeling you get when you compliment or say something nice about someone who you really hate, someone who you really don't like. Putting a smile on in front of people that you really don't want to deal with. Lowering yourself and you being the first to say salam to someone, even though you feel like they should be coming up to you and saying salam. Not feeling offended when someone hurts your ego. Not feeling jealous when you see someone that has something that you wish you had. Not feeling envious and wishing that it gets taken away from them. Not feeling arrogant. cleansing the heart so that you are patient in times of difficulty, so that you are grateful in times of good. All of these different aspects of purification of the soul that require us to change our natural default reaction and responses to things. It's tough, it's hard, it's really difficult work. But again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is swearing 11 times, just do it, because it will result in the ultimate success. It will result in complete victory in the hereafter. And that is a place wherein we want the most victory, wherein we want the most success. We have the keys right here. Tazkiyatun nafs, purifying the soul, purifying the heart, purifying ourselves inwardly so that we can attain ultimate success in the hereafter. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us purify our souls, to help us engage in the hard work that it requires, and to give us the strength and ability to accomplish this monumental task. Ameen. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim, subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk, wa sallallahu ala khayri khalqika Muhammad, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.